Shadowing. One man dead, severe injured after Singapore Airlines flight hit severe turbulence. Passengers look on in horror as stewardess take off is seriously injured. 18 are rushed to hospital. 8 of those are Australians. Some are critical. A 73-year-old British man died from a suspected heart attack. From the plane windows, they watched as fellow travelers are loaded into waiting ambulances. This emergency landing is different. Bangkok Airport officials said it's been one of their worst days. They've never had so many injuries from such severe aircraft turbulence. The pilot declared an emergency and descended to 6,000 feet and asked to land at Bangkok, the closest airport. Those who could work have to leave next, passing others, nursing their wounds, and waiting to be taken off the plane. Wow. Yeah. See people on the ground. Above, blood stains on the ceiling, are testaments to their terrifying ordeal. Jerry was coming to Australia with his wife and daughter for a wedding. There's no warning at all, and I ended up hitting my head on the ceiling. My wife did. Some poor people are walking around, ended up doing some assault. The tarmac quickly became a makeshift emergency room. Initially, 7 passengers were critical. More than 211 were on board SQ321. Of the 18 crew, 1 was seriously injured. Relief for those able to leave the airport, even smiled. How do you think about experience? Were you hurt? Yeah, we are very lucky. It was night before some of the passengers made it to hospital. They needed to be stabilized before being transported. From her hospital bed, Tihandra, taken from Melbourne, says she was asleep when the plane suddenly plunged. I was to the roof, had to time put because it was just so quickly. They had no warning. And it was quite scary, but I don't think I will be fly again for a while. Some of the passengers on board have described absolute scenes of terror, people screaming in agony, people with massive gashes to their heads. The families of the injured Australians who've been held at this hospital are being helped by consular officials and the embassy here is trying to find more information about any other Australians who've been caught up in these extraordinary events. Australians have started arriving home. Many are traumatized but relieved. Sheer terror and such shock. You think what's happening, they were just shuddering, the whole planes are shuddering. Anything's gonna to land on land and the water is going to crack up. It's been a very traumatic experience for us. But overall, I'm really impressed with the way Sinfline responded to us, responded to the situation, and I'm just really, really glad to be reuniting my family. The Singapore airline crew told some passengers this was the worst turbulence they've ever experienced. There'll not be an investigation into whether these rare events could be predicted or prevented. Lauren Day, ABC News, Bangkok. What more? Passengers look on in horror as the stretchers take off the seriously injured. 18 are rushed to hospital. 8 of those are Australian. Some are critical. A 73-year-old British man died from a suspected heart attack. From the plane window they watched as fellow travelers are loaded into waiting ambulances. This emergency landing is different. Bangkok Airport's officials said it's been one of their worst days. They never had so many injuries from such severe aircraft turbulence. The pilot declared an emergency and descended to 6,000 feet and asked to land at Bangkok, the closest airport. Those who could walk have to leave next, passing others nursing their wounds and waiting to be taken off the plane. Wow. Yeah. See people on the ground. Above, blood stain on the ceiling, a testament to their terrifying ordeal. Jerry was coming to Australia with his wife and daughter for a wedding. There's no warning at all, and I ended up hitting my head on the ceiling. My wife did. Some poor people are walking around ended up doing some assault. The tarmac quickly became a makeshift emergency room. Initially, 7 passengers were critical. More than 211 were on the board as Q321 of the 18 crew. 1 was seriously injured. Relief for those able to leave the airport, even smiles. How do you think about the experience? Were you hurt? We were very lucky. It was night before some of the passengers made it to hospital. They needed to be stabilized before they being transported. From her hospital bed, Tiandra Tukune from Melbourne said she was asleep when the plane suddenly plunged. I was to the roof, had time to put on because it was just so quickly. They had no warning. A lot of pain and it was quite scary, but I don't think I'll be able to fly again for a while. Some of the passengers on my board had described absolutely scenes of terror, people screaming and arguing, people with massive gases to their heads. The family of the injured Australian who had been held at hospital are being helped by consular official, and the embassy here is trying to find more information about any other Australian who have been caught up in this extraordinary event. Australians have started arriving home. Many are traumatized but relieved. Sheer terror and such a shock. You think what's happening there was shattering, the whole plane was shattering, and you think it's going to land on land in the water, is going to trigger. It's been a very traumatic experience for us, but overall, I'm really impressed with the way Singapore Airlines has response to the situation, and I'm just really, really glad to be reunited with my family. The Singapore Airlines crew told some passengers this was the worst turbulence they've ever experienced. There'll not be investigation into whether these rare events could be predicted or prevented. Lauren Day, ABC News, Bangkok.